With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices, which adds up to big savings for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase, which means you win big at the pump. The Kroger Plus card, all you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
And now, shop what you love and save $2 on each participating item when you buy 3 or more with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
How about we heat things up tonight?
How so?
Get a little fresh, add some steam, sizzle, and spice.
Wait, you're talking about going to Outback again, aren't you? Fire things up at Outback Steakhouse. For a limited time, try our bloomin' fried shrimp or get fresh with our new strawberry salad. Go big with our bone-in ribeye or the filet and grilled shrimp on the barbie. Then cool off with a cucumber crush or peanut koala. Try them all before they're gone. Let's Outback.
Stand by. The vacuum tubes are warming up. This is a special live broadcast right here on Georgia Radio.
Well, good evening. Welcome to the Georgia Folk and Farm Life radio show right here on Georgia Radio with Matt Jolly, and brought to you by Meeks Brothers Cattle Company and good folks over there at Meeks Brothers. They're a great outfit. Great family.
They got a great bunch of people down there at Meeks Brothers Cattle Company, don't they? You know, I was reading the other day on Facebook. They're from Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. If you want to find them, you have to go to Meeks. That's MEEKS, Meeks Brothers Cattle Company on Facebook to find them. But they were talking about this is the time of year really when it's best to put in your order, and I think that. We gotta try and sell a few cows tonight, Wade. But
yes,
it's a good time to do it. Yeah, gotta get in there and get it. They've got all kind of fun stuff down there at Meeks. So
well, the thing about it is, you think in your freezer, refrigerator, or your supermarket that you've got good beef. When it's okay to you, but it's how like Adam and Eve didn't know they were naked till the snake told them. Well, I'm the snake telling you. You're naked. You didn't know that you thought you had some good beef, but you didn't. The difference between what they will provide for you and what the products they have, the quality beef, and what you find in the supermarket, there is no comparison. It's amazing. The color, the texture, the appearance, and the taste is amazing.
It is, and it's just second to none. That's why we like to say, nobody beats Meeks Meats. There you go.
I never say that. You do. And
yeah. Nobody beats Meeks Meats.
Yep.
Right there. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. What are we going to talk about tonight? You have raised a stir, by the way.
What's that? What I do?
Yeah, you raised a stir the other night talking about counterfeit biscuits. And that's got me. I mean, do we know where the one true biscuit is? Is there one?
The Great Biscuit.
Yeah, the Great Biscuit.
It's out there in hallowed biscuit land. I don't know. On a mountain of lard and buttermilk to a snow-capped. Right. My mama always used Morel lard to make biscuits, and it's got a picture of a snow-capped. Right. And then there was Snow Peak lard. So evidently they're throwing hints at us. Those companies that there is this, like Superman's domain back up there in the ice mountain. There's a place somewhere in a snow-capped mountain, hidden from view. There's like the Valhalla of biscuits.
Where the biscuits are at. Yeah. Well, you might be honest, but you brought up this point on Georgia Folk and Farm Life the other day. By the way, if you want to comment on the show tonight, if you're listening to us on the My Georgia Radio app, just go down there and push the microphone button at the bottom of the home screen. So when you first open the app and it starts playing the radio station, at the very bottom it looks like a microphone. If you just mash that button, you can send a comment over and we'll play it on the air tonight. Really easy to do. But you started quite a stir up there talking about these counterfeit Southern biscuits. And anyhow, I got a good laugh out of it. But I guess it's true, huh?
Yeah, and you're breaking up. Your sound quality has gone downhill in the last few minutes.
I could sound.
Yes,
It's
never
just on
done
your
that
end.
before.
It's on your end. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah, biscuits are they put these biscuits out here. These, I won't say biscuit whores, but they're peddling their biscuits, their wares out here, and they're not the real thing. It's fake, phony biscuits.
Fake and phony biscuits.
And they make them. They're like 2 stories high, and they're layered and they're crumbly. And you pick them up to try to eat this, a sausage biscuit or a steak biscuit or a ham biscuit, and they fall apart because they're not made right. They weren't raised right. They don't made right, and they're not fitting. As good old Southern saying, it just ain't fitting. Biscuits like Mama made were shorter, stout, and they would hold together. They never fell apart. And you can slice them open and put a piece of meat in there, and they'd hold together.
Yeah, they had a little bit. They had gluten in them.
They had real, sure enough, highfalutin gluten, and it was the very best of lard, buttermilk, and
well, somebody asked me the other day. They said
self-rising flour.
They asked me. They said, "Is lard a 1-to-1 replacement with other shortening and stuff?" And I said, "I think it is."
Yeah, it works the same. Yeah.
It's not a cooking
Crisco.
show.
Mama did start using Crisco, and her biscuits were good. Crisco makes good biscuits, but lard and buttermilk and good old Martha White self-rising flour. Yeah,
that's the name of the game.
That was it.
I was looking around some Georgia news the other day, and you came across the same article. We have a brand spanking new power plant that's just about to come online.
Right.
You even wrote something about it on the group. Talk about that.
Well, I have friends that work there at Plant Vocal, and they're, units 1 and 2 have been online, for years, for decades. And 3 and 4 have been on construction for a while. And sure, they went over time and over budget, but listen, you try building a nuclear plant and not go over time and budget. And but anyway, this week on Unit 3 has reached a stage where they fueled it up. They put the fuel rods in the reactor. And now they're not making pyre, as they say. They ain't making pyre yet, and they ain't online out there. But you've got to get it running, fueled up, and run through all kinds of things. I'm sure it's amazing, but
I'm not schooled up on that. But there was Are you going to talk about the comment that was made on there?
Yeah, there was Georgia Power. So all this is leading up to something that I thought was so hilarious. I see people make comments sometimes on Facebook posts on mine and others that just, as my mama would say, slay me, just crack me up and I can't get over it. But Georgia Power posted on Facebook, a picture of I don't know if it was actually Unit 3, but one like that, photograph of the fuel rods underwater there and put in the reactor core, and said that it had been fueled up this week, and that was a major step. And a lady, bless her heart, from around Augusta there said, what her comment was, somebody tell me exactly what are they going to do with it. What are they going to use those fuel rods for? And what is Georgia Power going to make there? And I just thought that was the funniest. That struck me funny. I'm like, it's chicken pot pies. Everybody knows. Yeah,
everybody knows that they're going to make chicken pot pies with it.
Chicken pot pies. And, I couldn't laugh. I laughed by that. And so later I said, I wish I had, bless your heart, I know it would have hurt her feelings maybe. I wish I had posted that, commented that. So all day long, I've waited to get back home. When I got home, I gave Conway short shrift. I went, oh, sure, baby, come on, Daddy. Daddy's got to get the computer right quick. Come on, we got to go. And I turned the computer on and found Georgia Power's Facebook site and found that post, and the lady had removed her comment.
She knew you were coming with a chicken pot pie line, and that was the end of that.
Well, I messed up. I said I did comment this morning. I just commented, bless your heart. That's what I said, bless your heart. And others probably piled on. I missed all that. But anyway, it was gone when I got back, and I thought I should have gone and said this morning, ma'am, they're going to make chicken pot pies.
These are the things that keep you up. The other thing that keeps you up that I thought was kind of funny today is Conway's taken now to Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah, who knew? And please, a disclaimer here. I don't have good sense. I admit that. I'm throwing that out right out in front of God and everybody. I don't have good sense. I've never been known for having good sense, but I do know not to feed the baby Big Sap. Okay, so all of you that was worried about that.
But
I'm not feeding him. I'm not leaving it where he can get to it. I put it away, okay? But he has, this afternoon, I just innocently opened a jar of Big Salve, and he just went crazy like a cat with catnip, and he just wanted that Big Salve. He just couldn't get enough of smelling it, and he wanted to eat it. And I was surprised by that because I thought he would sniff it and back off like, "Oh, Daddy, that's not chicken."
Yeah,
but
he ran to it.
He's never been that excited about chicken as he was Big Salve. I mean, they got this thing with NyQuil. What were they, chicken cooked in NyQuil? The other day?
Oh, I don't know.
Facebook. Yeah, that's been a Facebook stupidity going on with young people cooking chicken in NyQuil, and they're don't do this. It's stupid. It can kill you. Whatever. And please don't. Even if you're not familiar with it, don't look it up. Don't Google it. But maybe I don't know. I could start something, an idiot craze where, I bake chicken and Big Salve and the baby eats it.
There you
go.
But
no.
Don't start that. We don't need any more stupidity in this world.
There's plenty right here.
Yeah, there is. Exactly.
Right where I'm sitting.
You and me both. No, I just thought that was funny, though, that he was so taken with that stuff. But
I was surprised by the fact that Conway loved Big Salve.
All right, I got a question that came in, by the way.
He's a Georgian. He's dyed-in-the-wool, hard case, old line Georgian. They love Big Salve.
I got a question that just came in. It says, y'all are talking about Vicks Salve, Vicks Vapor Rub. It's the time of year when we're all going to start getting colds. Maybe you should do a show on home remedies.
We might do that.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It didn't say who wrote in, but if you want to send me something, you can send an email over to matt@georgiaradio.com. It'll come right into the studio, or you can mash the button at the bottom of the app screen there, and you can send over a message. Tomorrow morning, by the way, Wade, tomorrow morning is Swap Shop on Georgia Radio. We're going to do
maybe somebody, you're going to be some, maybe somebody can say trade you some long handles, long drawings, long draws.
Step ins.
Yeah, well, step ins is just store-bought drawers.
as you've talked about at great length there before.
And you have you learned, being a Texas transplant, have you learned a lot after moving to Georgia and on Georgia Folk and Farm Life?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We call things differently, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The West is not as developed as it is here.
I agree with that.
Everybody's been here. This was the 13th colony. So,
that's right.
Yeah, you've been doing it longer.
Yeah, my family's been in Emmanuel County since before there was Emmanuel County. It was,
That's why every back road in that part
right.
of the country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You know what I'm amazed at is all of the institutional knowledge that's there on Georgia Folk and Farm Life. I mean, there really is a bunch of great stuff.
There is. We've got some people that know a lot, yes.
A lot
if I could just get them to write about it. That's the one thing that I would urge people to do. Two things with Georgia Folk and Farm Life. If you have Facebook friends that you think would enjoy being a member, invite them to be a member. And let's make the group grow. But also, if you will, we love it when you write your memories, things about your parents, your grandparents, things you remember. You don't have to say, well, I'm no good at writing. You don't have to be good at writing. There's a lot of folks that's not good at writing, but that's no impediment to sharing, knowledge and oral history and things that.
Right. No, I agree.
You'll be glad you did. I promise you. Very few people have ever regretted when they write a post on Georgia Folk and Farm Life, because you get a great reaction, and it means a lot to most of us. So people appreciate it, and they will if you join in and write on Georgia Folk and Farm Life. It will be appreciated.
Can I tell you what my favorite post has been this week?
What's that?
Oh my goodness! It just came in less than a day ago. My favorite post. I had a couple of, but the biscuits was leaning that way. But then Miss Wanda shared that fried apple pie recipe. Did you see that?
Oh
my
no, I
goodness.
missed that.
Oh my goodness! I thought it was a fish at first because I was about to get kind of pesky. You know, I don't like fish to look like fish, and
Right.
but it's not. It looked kind of like a fish turned on its side, but it's these little fried apple pies that she shared.
Oh yeah,
and oh my goodness, they look delicious.
I'll tell you, Linda Flanders was a great friend of mine. She died a few weeks ago, and Linda and her mother lived to be in her 90s, and she passed 2 years ago. But Miss Sarah and Linda both, they cooked. Linda learned to cook from Miss Sarah, her mother, and they were great cooks. But the fried pies, apple pies, Linda always knew I loved them. If they made them, she'd save me some and bring them to me. Or if we had a dinner, she'd stick some aside for me. And if Miss Wanda's were as good as Miss Linda's and Miss Sarah's were, oh, God bless her.
Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. I love it. And I just saw Conway. He's in there with you.
Yeah, he's he was playing with Oink Pig earlier, and I posted that video. I said, you got to calm down before radio time, and so he has pretty well. He's Conway's a good boy
for the most part.
And I mean that never since it worked. For the most part.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
Well, it's fun to get to hang out with him. I'll tell you that. We got
I'm scrolling through. It's time break time.
It's break time. Just a quick break, and then we'll come back and read some more. We've got another email that came in, and two others we can get to here. But you want to take a...
Have you been waiting for just the right job? Then welcome to the end of your search. Amazon has seasonal warehouse jobs in your area, and now is a great time to apply. You can start getting paid right away and work close to home. Applying is easy. You don't even need an interview. So what are you waiting for? Come join the team and get a great seasonal job offer today. Visit Amazon.com/hiring. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
How about we heat things up tonight?
How so?
Get a little fresh, add some steam, sizzle, and spice.
Wait, you're talking about going to Outback again, aren't you? Fire things up at Outback Steakhouse. For a limited time, try our bloomin' fried shrimp or get fresh with our new strawberry salad. Go big with our bone-in ribeye or the filet and grilled shrimp on the barbie. Then cool off with a cucumber crush or peanut koala. Try them all before they're gone. Let's Outback.
Quick break here, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Wade Peoples from Georgia Folk and Farm Life Radio. I'm here to tell you about Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. And you don't have to worry about supply chain issues or where your beef comes from. Do what I do and call Meeks Brothers Cattle Company today. You can get a whole, half, a quarter, any amount of beef you want. Good quality beef, vacuum packed, lasts up to 3 years in your freezer. It's grass-fed, grain-finished, made to order. Visit Meeks Brothers Cattle Company on Facebook today and tell them Brother Wade sent you. And that's Meeks Brothers Cattle Company. Thank you.
I know you can hear me, and so can your customers. Lots of people don't take kids seriously. Well, listen up. Advertising on Georgia Radio is seriously easy and affordable. Visit georgiaradio.com/advertise, or better yet, call the station. So let's talk. Your customers are listening, and so is my mom. Hi, Mom.
All the best country.
Georgia Radio. Everywhere you go.
Well, I was lost in a reverie of scrolling through Georgia Folk and Farm Life and missed my cue.
You were reading Ode to the Station Wagon,
yes,
weren't you?
And I was actually I was deleting a post that shouldn't have been on there to start with. And I was looking through the activity log to see which one of our staff approved it, but it
Probably
was no
me.
big deal. I just got on now.
It's probably me. Yeah.
Probably. We'll say it was you.
Yeah. I'm always the one that's the infraction leader.
I've scrolled through occasionally, and if I see something like, oh, that shouldn't have been on there, and
you have a couple of pet peeves.
Yeah, and generally I'll remove it unless I have to say this, unless Randy Olive put it on there, and I let and Randy has deleted my stuff before. Do you realize how outrageous that is and presumptuous of to go on Georgia Folk and Farm Life and you're a co-administrator and you remove my stuff. But I have to say, Randy's smart. He removed stuff that he knew that I shouldn't have put on there to start with, or ran or something. So, if Randy removes something of mine, I'll just laugh because that's just Randy. But there's nobody else I give that kind of grant, that kind of, I don't say grant that way. He's earned it. This is part of his he helped start the group. But I'll let I'm not going. Generally speaking, I don't think I've ever removed anything of Randy's. But once in a while, a moderator or administrator will let something slip through that we really not what we do, and then if I see it, I remove it. So if you see something, I don't complain about it. Y'all don't go complaining about just worthless stuff. But if you see something that's egregious, let me know. Message me instead of getting on there and saying anything. Send me a message. But
yeah,
I rarely have to do that. That's very, very rare. And we don't have any particular person who is allows things like that to happen. Yeah. It's an equal opportunity thing. And yeah,
everybody's allowed to screw up. Okay, let me read this one. Dear Wade, I read something about your earrings the other day, and I was hoping you could elaborate. My great grandmother never had her ears with holes in them, but she used to wear those things, and I always thought they looked miserable. This is from Peggy.
Yeah,
and I'm looking through, and I see. I think this is talking about those old ear screws.
Yeah, well, I was telling you, it was funny. My grandparents, my people's grandma, Rainey and Maybelle Peoples. Now, God bless them.
The post I'm talking about that she's talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting around. That's what I'm telling you.
Good.
My grandparents were very country. They were, Pa was born in 1894 and Ma in 1896. And they were rural Georgia. And they're about as rural as you get. And one time when I was 16 because I was in my orange Bronco, 74 Bronco, and so I was 16 years old, or 17. And I went over to pick them up to take them somewhere. And that was always an adventure. They were such good people, but they were, like I say, it was like mom and pop kettles almost. Yeah. And love them, but it's the truth. And so Mom and Pa got in, and we started leaving, and Mom said, "Oh, I forgot my air screws." And my face turned. I'm like 16, 17-year-old teen. My face turned red. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I ain't asking. And Pa said, "Well, go get them, Maybelle." And she said, "No." And I said, "No, go ahead," because I wanted to get them, and so maybe I could spot it when she got back in without having to ask, and I would learn something, because I did want to know what an air screw was, but I didn't
want to ask.
Yeah, might be one of them lady things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you never know.
So she goes back in and she comes back out with them. People say earbobs hanging from her ears, and I realized that she was calling those earbobs, or they called them earrings, country way of saying air screws, her air screws. So that's what they were, air screws, and that tickled me, and that's just one of those little things that they were so country. One time, I'll tell this, Matt. Pop in particular, he was an old timer from back in that era, and he didn't believe in spending money unless you had to. And, in their mind, you started out set up housekeeping, which is an old term you don't hear anymore. People set up housekeeping back then, which meant they got a place to live and they got the basic furniture and stuff that they needed to set up housekeeping, right?
Yeah.
And they would keep those things until as long as they could. They didn't just change with fashion or anything, And I picked them up one time, and we were riding through Swainsboro, and we passed which was later became Badcock, but it was the Home Shop back then. Jack Hall and Jim Curry owned it, and their wives ran it. And the Home Shop, and it was a furniture store, a nice place. And it hadn't been open long, and Pa says,
"Big train coming, Wade."
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's a professional show right on the edge of the railroad tracks.
I got the term.
Yeah, not to worry.
But anyway, Pa, we passed the furniture store, and he says, "What's that big store right there?" I says, "The furniture store, the home shop." He says, "What?" I says, "When they open?" I said, "It's been open for a while." He said, "Well, Ralph Foster still got Walmart furniture over there on the other side of town?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "I said, and the boat rides got their furniture store." He said, "Great God's there ain't that many people setting up housekeeping." And I said, "Well, Pa, a lot of people buy furniture. They get rid of their old furniture and buy new furniture just because it's older. The fashion style change." Well, that just shocked him. He did not know that, and the idea that people would actually buy furniture on a whim or because the old furniture didn't suit him anymore, as long as it was still functional, he couldn't believe that. But that just gives you an example of the difference in that generation and ours today. I mean, we'll throw out perfectly good furniture because you see something in the store that you like better,
Yeah. I don't do that. I don't throw anything away.
I keep things. I'm like Pa now. I'm pretty much
much set in your ways now, right?
Man, have you ever? I've done this where you haul something. Finally, have to haul something to the dumpster, and not saying I ever, because you're not supposed to put things outside the dumpster. But I'm not saying I ever did that. But back when I did that, I have hauled recliner or chair, and by the time I haul it off and unload it, when you get something like that, when it's in your house, you don't realize just how terrible it is.
And then you go, "Oh man!"
And then it's like on Fraser. You remember his daddy's old chair?
Oh, yeah.
That was
falling apart. Yeah,
right. And it looks so bad in your house, but you're used to it. But once you take it out and load it on a pickup and go surreptitiously to dump it out somewhere, when you do, you've become aware of just how horribly pathetic and ugly it is. And you wait till there's nothing coming, you shove it out, really when you're still moving down the road, you're like, give it a push and drive off as fast as you can, and swear to God, you never knew this recliner.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, you disown it right away.
That's the way I disown it. So that's the way I am with my stuff.
I think a new rule that we should invoke should be that someone else should throw away your underwear and socks.
Yeah, because that way with clothes.
Most of us can't. Yeah, most of us can't. We don't know when to give it up. We just don't. So
I have taken to letting Conway have. Now he doesn't wear. He's not he's not wearing my stuff, but he likes to chew up my socks and I will let him. Not my underwear. I don't want him. I don't want company to come in and my floor's a mess. There's but not underwear on my floor, but socks and shirts galore.
Conway runs around with all your dirty laundry, right?
Yes.
I had a dog after I got married. My dog, my old dog, God bless him. He used to go around and he would take one of my wife's shoes, just one of them, and he was a border collie. They're real smart dogs, and he would chew just the heel, just the edge of the heel, and not tear it up, but
That's
just
artistic,
just enough to let her know that he was watching her.
That's funny.
Like, you ruined a really good thing by coming over here. Yeah, he was.
I like that.
He had a lot of personality. So
that's funny.
Yeah, old Joe. All right, we got a few minutes left here. What do you want to slide in? Because next week we're going to be back with a guest, and we won't have to do this. I'm just going through there's a couple of emails that have come in, just mainly people picking at you tonight about the pot pie. They like the pot pie story.
Yeah, well, that's funny.
A couple of suggestions. They said one said a pot pie. The other, this is kind of funny. The other one said they're going to be making turkey sandwiches on the grill. Anyhow, a couple of them in here.
Well, maybe microwave popcorn would have been a good one too.
That would have been a good one. They just didn't. Turkey sandwiches.
Turkey sandwiches.
Yeah,
coming up.
There you go. Hot turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
So there you have it. All right, what do you got? What do you want to end on, Mr. Wade?
Well, I've talked about my grandparents and embarrassed the family and aired my dirty laundry, which reminds me, back when people used to have, clotheslines and they didn't have dryers, and people put their laundry out. I'm glad that I don't have, people say airing your dirty laundry, but I'm glad I don't have to put my, because I am bad about keeping clothes much longer than I should. And I'm glad I have a dryer.
Yeah. I get to hear that. I'm glad I have, but I find that half the time that kind of stuff just doesn't work in this house. If I don't use it, it doesn't break.
Yeah, well, that's one thing about being single after all these years. I was married. I run things the way I want to, and actually you need somebody to make you do better. But between me and Conway, two old bachelors, we're
pretty well taken care of.
Going downhill. I can see that I really need. I should get married again, but I'm not going to.
One day you'd have to bring your washing machine in from outside, though, if you did that.
Yeah, the washing machine. You remember the old ringer washer? You remember the old ringer washers?
I do.
Matt?
I do.
I remember that well. I remember.
Yeah. But we can't say what I know you're thinking about.
Oh yeah.
On here.
Don't get you in the ringer.
Come on now. All right, I'm going to play the music. It's a family show.
It's that time. It
is that family time.
Yeah, and
it's time to go be with the family.
Yes,
hey, so
listen, I want to thank. Go ahead.
Just send over if you've got something to buy, swap, or sell. Send over the message tonight, please. Yeah. Whatever it is.
And listen, I've enjoyed tonight. I enjoy it when we don't have it. I enjoy having guests. I enjoy when it's just Matt and me. We have a little fun here together. And I appreciate all of you that listen tonight and those that listen on the podcast and everybody that's a member of Georgia Folk and Farm Life. And thank you, Meeks Brothers Cattle Company, for the wonderful help they are to us. And
y'all go order some meat.
Order some meat, yes.
Now is the time that you can split it. You get anything you want. You get a neighborhood buy together or however you want to do it.
Yeah.
But go order some meat. I bet people could determine the split right there on Georgia Folk and Farm Life. We should get a thread going for Meeks.
I would, yes. That's
and then
a good
everybody
idea.
can pile on and decide who wants what.
That's right. That would work.
What are you having for dinner tonight?
Come
on.
Fish.
No, come on now. Pot pie.
Square fish. No, square fish.
You're having a pot pie.
Nope.
Courtesy of Georgia Power.
Georgia Power. Yeah, maybe they'll be our sponsor now. Georgia Power Pot Pies. Here on Georgia Folk and Farm Life. Get your Georgia Power Pot Pie.
After you pull it out of the oven, it's guaranteed to still glow.
Shake it. It'll glow. It'll glow on your face. Enjoyed it, everybody. Join us next week and see you on Facebook. God bless y'all. Thank you.
All the best country.
Georgia Radio. Everywhere you go.
Shopify presents cool sheets from AHA to
lying awake while you bake isn't cool. I suffered from the wrong kind of hot in bed, heat-induced insomnia. That was my aha moment. Bed sheets that keep you cool. Then I thought, how do I even sell bed sheets? That's when I had the idea that made it all possible, signing up on Shopify. With the help of Shopify's intuitive online store creator, I started selling sustainable bamboo sheets that keep cool year-round. And my cool idea became a reality. Hot sleepers around the world rejoice. Shopify makes it simple to keep your cool while starting and growing your business. Start selling with Shopify today and join the commerce platform powering millions of businesses worldwide. From AHA to anything is possible.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/free22. Shopify.com/free22.